Welcome to the sunshine and pageantry of Italy for the fourth round of the World 500cc Motocross Championship. We're at Fermo on the Adriatic coast, a typical hard-riding Italian track. When the flags have stopped waving and the band has stopped playing, it promises to be a battle royal between the Union Jack of former world champion Dave Thorpe on 89 points and his Honda teammate, current world champion Eric Gabors on 83. Before the Italian action, we look back at the first round of Valkenswaard in Holland. So the first bend of the 1989 season, but not a good start for Swiss rider Jean Tonas on the Honda. Not the way to start your new campaign. Back at the front, Eric Gabors, the current champion, leads. In second place, Joe Martins from Belgium on the Kawasaki. The pack now coming through. That pack includes Dave Thorpe, number 9, Jackie Martins. But Gabors, starting off the season as he left off last year, the only man in motocross history to win 125, 250 and 500cc championships. All eyes centre though on number 18, Jeff Leask, the young Australian riding the Honda. Gabors in command at the front on the Honda. Still in second place, number 19, Joe Martins on the Kawasaki. Gabors again, approaching his first victory of the season. Number 1, denoting he's world champion. Martins in second place. In third place now, Leif Pearson, again on a Honda. Number 11 coming through strongly there, that's Dirk Gherkins from Belgium on the Honda. Back with Gabors. 125, 250 and 500 champion. But this is Leask, the man many experts are tipping to become a future world champion. Behind him, number 11, Gherkins again, at home in the sand. And in fact, Gherkins and Leask really making an impression on Gabors, and with just 4 laps remaining, they actually get in front of the world champion. So Gabors now struggling down in third place. This is Gherkins with 1 lap to go, and Leask has gone with 1 lap to go. Leask, who was leading, has disappeared, the 24-year-old Australian. Gabors now up into second place, and Dietmar Lacher from West Germany in third. But what's happened to Leask? There he is. The 24-year-old from Perth, Western Australia, has run out of petrol. So a disaster for him, but a great victory now for Dirk Gherkins on the Honda. Half a lap to go, the checkered flag being prepared. In second place, current champion Eric Gabors. Gabors won't be too disappointed with a second place, though he did look a likely winner. But here is the likely winner, the checkered flag being prepared for Belgium Honda rider Dirk Gherkins. So Gherkins wins, Gabors in second place, Lacher third, and spare a thought for the unfortunate Leask. On to the second leg, and Kurt Nickel leads the way, followed by number 3, Dave Thorpe. Thorpe 7th in that first leg, disappointed, would like to do better. Billy Lyles on the Kawasaki. Number 63, another former world champion, Georges Jobet. Number 5, Jackie Vimon, former 250cc world champion. 17, Leif Pearson. The rider's now coming up to the gate for this very important second leg. Dietmar Lacher, number 16. What a good ride by him. And the bulldozer preparing the sand for the battering it's about to receive. The second leg of the Dutch 500cc Motocross Grand Prix and the second race of the 1989 World Championship. Tense moments for the riders. The winner of that first leg, Dirk Gherkins. In second place, Eric Gabors, and they start the second leg. And through the dust, we look for a leader, and the leader, in fact, number 8, Billy Lyles from the USA on the Kawasaki, now based in Italy. So Lyles leads, broadsiding its way through. Number 19 in second place is Joe Martins from Belgium on the Kawasaki. Number 18 safely through, Jeff Leask. Worked hard on his petrol tank between the 2 races, enlarged it with a hairdryer. Surely he's not going to run out of petrol this second time round. Number 18, Leask, 24-year-old Australian, very determined. Number 2, Kurt Nickel, 2nd in the championship last year. Number 1, Gabors, with a lot of work to do. Behind him, Georges Jobet. Back in front, Lyles still leads the way, but coming under increasing pressure from Gherkins. Nickel still in 4th place, exerting similar pressure. But Leask wanted to make up for that first leg disappointment. Nicol, number 2, second in the championship last year, current British champion. But Leesk now leads on the Honda. So the Australian in the sand leads. 2 Kawasaki's chasing him hard. The Kawasaki's of Leals and Nicol. 8 is Leals, 2 is Nicol. Behind them, Gherkins, number 11, who won that first leg. And Nicol really exerting some pressure on Leesk. So Honda versus Kawasaki. Front wheel landing by the Australian. Nicol just dropping off the pace a little bit now. 1 lap to go. Nicol still in second place. But this is Leesk, surely now. He's not going to run out of petrol this time round. And are we watching a future World 500cc motocross champion in action? 24-year-old Jeff Leesk. Number 4, that's Kies van der Ven, always at home in the sand. Currently lying 5th. George Jobé, number 63. Jobé involved in a rare old battle there with number 8, that's Billy Leals, who was the early leader. But here is the leader where it matters most, with the checkered flag being prepared. Jeff Leesk wins the second leg. In second place is Kurt Nicol, and in third place on the KTM, Jackie Martin. The action then switched to France and Saint-Jean d'Angely. A wet, dismal afternoon, but a very important race. A typical French track on the side of a hillside, but as you can see for yourself, conditions very poor indeed. The gate drops then, the third race of the World 500cc Championship and the first leg of the French 500cc Grand Prix, and it's Gabors leading. Jackie Martin's in second place, and the rest, well, in the mud behind. But now it's Martin's in front, number 9. Gabors in second place. We then lose track of name and numbers as the riders plough through the mud. Martin's leads. Eric, we think Gabors in second place. These conditions are a real test for riders' stamina, riders' skill and machine preparation. But Martin's at the moment leading the way through the mud. Gabors in second place, splashing his way through. Second overall in the championship after that opening round in Holland. Back with Martin's. Now they're among the back markers, making life even more difficult, but Gabors safely through, still in second place. Now chasing Martin's hard. Picking his way through the ruts. This is Martin's, he knows Gabors is closing all the time. Splashes through the puddle, then gets the KTM into the ruts, accelerates away as fast as he dare. Gabors. And still a big crowd huddling under the umbrellas, enthralled by these two battling away at the front. Gabors still getting the Honda high despite the morass of mud. 26-year-old from Mol in Belgium, from a famous motocross family. Achieved the ultimate accolade last year when he won the 500cc championship, making him the only man to win all 3. Number 3, Dave Thorpe, struggling through the conditions. World champion on a couple of occasions, injury though wrecked his last 2 seasons. And some rare sunshine now coming out, a little bit late to save the fate of these riders. But this is Gabors, still chasing the lead. Gabors now leading. So Gabors in front, Martin's in second place and Dave Thorpe in third spot. Two laps to go. What a welcome sign that must be for the world champion. So 26-year-old Eric Gabors on his way to victory. His first Grand Prix victory of the season. In second place now, the man who led for so long, Jackie Martins, number 9 on the KTM. And in third place, Britain's Dave Thorpe. Back with Gabors at the front. Number 3, Thorpe, third in the championship last year. He's had bad luck with injuries the last 2 seasons. Now into fourth place though, number 18, Jeff Leask, going well in the awful conditions after his surprising victory in the sand in Holland. But a win for Gabors, second Martins and third Thorpe. And conditions just a little bit better for the second leg. At least it's not raining, but the track's still very wet and still very muddy. Leading the way, number 15, that's British Honda rider Mervyn Anstey. That really is the place to be, at the front, trying to get away from the mud and the spray, kicked up from the back wheels of the other machines. Anstey doing the right thing. So, a bit of a surprise this. Anstey leads. In second place, number 18, Jeff Leask. And if anything, the conditions seem even worse than they were in that first leg. Number 3, Dave Thorpe, fighting his way through the field. Probably encouraged by that third place in the first leg. But now it's Jackie Vimond leading. The former 250cc world champion, now riding a 500 Honda. So that's number 5, Jackie Vimond, and don't the French crowd love every minute of it? The flags are out, the hooters are going, they're cheering on their hero, so Vimond now leads, number 5. Surely he's the only man with a clean shirt in the race at the moment. And a lot of pointing and a lot of encouraging going on, but it really is difficult to sort out who's who. That's Dave Thorpe now into second place on the Honda. And Thorpe chasing hard after Vimond. This is Thorpe, number 3. Vimond just in front of him. There's no doubt who the crowd are encouraging. 2 laps to go then. Thorpe closing on Vimond all the time. Can the former British and world champion overtake the Frenchman before the finish? So a former 250cc world champion in the lead, a former double 500cc world champion in second place. France versus Britain. Honda versus Honda. Vimond seemingly holding Thorpe at bay at the moment as they go down the hill. Thorpe closing though. This is Vimond. Thorpe closing all the time. 26-year-old British rider, former schoolboy champion. The crowd urging Vimond on as Thorpe closes. Vimond still leading. Thorpe right behind him. Thorpe almost unrecognisable in the mud. Thorpe world champion in 85 and 86. And he's still closing, but Vimond still holding firm. Tense moments for both riders. Thorpe now getting around the outside. No, Vimond blocks him. They're in the same rut as they got the hill. Thorpe going wide. Has Thorpe done it? Thorpe takes the lead. Oh, tremendous riding by British rider Dave Thorpe. And the crowd silent for the first time during this second leg. So Thorpe, what a time to take the lead. Lap and a half to go. Now Thorpe leads. Vimond in second place. Thorpe, a very quick look behind him. I don't think there's much lead to look. He gives the thumbs up. He takes the checkered flag. A win for Dave Thorpe. Oh, no wonder he's pleased. Jackie Vimond second and Mervyn Anstey, a marvellous ride by the British rider, into third place. Well, back to some welcome sunshine and back to Fermo in Italy for the 4th round. In between, the riders have been to Austria, and in between, Dave Thorpe won both legs to put him back in the lead in the championship by 6 points from Eric Gabors. Marvellous display of flag waving. Whose flags are we going to see waving at the end of these 2 legs? Will it be the Union Jack with Dave Thorpe? Will it be the Belgian flag with Eric Gabors? The first leg then underway at Fermo. A typical Italian track. It's more like a road race than a motocross. Number 2, Kurt Nickel, we picked there. In the lead, Jackie Martins. In second place, number 18, Leask. In fourth place, Billy Leals. And then the pack streaming through. Martins leads, Leask second, and Gabors third. George Jobé already gone down in a crash. Number 8, Billy Leals. We look for Thorpe. There he is. So Thorpe safely through, but having to fight his way back from about 10th or 11th place. But number 18, Leask, really has upset the motocross world, turned it upside down, the 24-year-old from Perth in Australia, riding the Honda. So Leask leads. In second place, Martins. In third place, Gabors. This is Gabors, trailing Thorpe by 6 points in the championship. Billy Lyles in fourth place. Now we see Thorpe. He's followed by Kurt Nickel, number 2. Then number 5, Jackie Vimon, who had such a good race with Thorpe in France. Really, conditions couldn't be different from that last race we saw in France when it was muddy and cold. This is hot and torrid. Least leads, number 18. Back wheel of his Honda, kicking up a great cloud of dust. In second place, still Jackie Martins, then Gabors. And this is Thorpe, number 3. Leading the championship by 6 points. Won the last 2 rounds in Austria. The man in form at the moment, 26-year-old British rider Dave Thorpe. One line really through here, though some riders jumping a little bit further than others. The Italian crowd knowledgeable, enthusiastic as ever. Least still leading. Number 18. Martin still second. We wait for Gabors, there he is. And it's Thorpe now up into 5th place and chasing hard after Leals. That's Leals, number 8, Thorpe, number 3, and Leals getting inside Gabors. But Gabors takes back, snatches back 3rd place. They go up the hillside side by side. And just in front of them is Martins. Is it Gabors? I think Gabors just had the advantage, and that's George Jobé recovering from that first lap crash. Leask over the jump. Well, we've seen Australians come into road racing and dominate the sport. Is it going to happen in motocross? 2nd place, Martins. 3rd, now we have Gabors. 4th, Leals. 5th, Thorpe. Leask. Martins really hanging on tight. Then Gabors. Back wheel just stepping out. Then Leals, number 8. And in 5th place, Thorpe. The former British champion fighting his way back through the field after a bad start. This is Gabors, number 1, current world champion. Then Leals, and Thorpe's gone down. Oh, Thorpe's dropped the Honda. Has he kept the engine running? No, the engine's died. So Thorpe having to kick the engine back into life. Rider after rider streaming past him. A disaster for Dave Thorpe. Back with the leaders, unaware of the drama behind them. Least still leading. Martin 2nd, but Thorpe now having to fight his way back through the pack. Least still leads. Probably enjoying the sunshine and these type of conditions. More like home in Australia, one would think. Number 14, that's the Italian Franco Rossi riding the KTM. Leask again. Coming under more and more pressure though from Gabors. A little sly look behind him. And Gabors is closing. It's Martins just behind him, so it's Martins in 2nd place. Gabors 3rd, but Gabors looking more and more dangerous as his first leg progresses. Leask. Number 8, Leals. Number 2 now, Kurt Nickel. 2 Kawasaki's together. And Dave Thorpe fighting his way back. He was lying 5th when he went down in that crash, but now he's recovered his composure and vital World Championship points at stake. George Jobé, another crusher in that first leg, in fact on the very first bend. Kurt Lundqvist, number 6. Diving inside, picking up another place on his way through. This is Martins, still in 2nd place, still chasing Leask, still coming under increasing pressure from Gabors. Thorpe. Martins and Leask, this is the battle at the front. And Martins really is hanging on extremely well to the young Australian's back wheel. Let's see if we can pick out Gabors, and there's Gabors in 3rd place. Gabors, as he has done all this race, looking dangerous, looking ready to pounce. And Thorpe now up into 5th place. He doesn't want to see those 6 points disappear, that 6-point lead he has in the championship. Kurt Nickel. It's getting harder at the front. Thorpe now 5th. Number 63, Jobay. He's up into 7th place. Again, he went down in that first lap, so he's fought back well. So 2 former world champions fighting their way back, and a current world champion challenging for the lead. Number 14, local hero Franco Rossi on the KTM. 63, Jobay again. Back at the front, Leesk still holding off Martins, but it's not Martins now, it's Gabor's up into 2nd place. So Gabor's now 2nd, Thorpe 5th. Jobay 7th. And Gabor's leads. Gabor's has overtaken Leesk. So Gabor's leads. Leesk in 2nd place. Kurt Nickel up into 3rd. So a great ride by the world champion. And in 5th place, we have Dave Thorpe behind Jackie Martins. Jobay chasing Rossi hard. He's in 7th spot. This is Jobay. Rossi just in front of him on the KTM. Gabor's now leads. Checkered flag being readied. In fact, 2 laps to go. The crowd, they're back to the action. Gabor's leads. 2nd place, Leesk. Number 1 takes the checkered flag. Leesk in 2nd place. In 3rd place, we have Kurt Nickel. In 4th spot, Martins, 5th Thorpe, and 6th Rossi. George Jobay 7th, Carl Sousa 8th, and Leif Pearson in 9th place. But a great ride by the current world champion, but brave ride by Dave Thorpe in 5th spot, and George Jobay in 7th. But Eric Gabor's, the 26-year-old Belgium rider, world champion in the 125, 250 and 500cc class, now leads the championship. Can Thorpe do anything about it? This is Gabor's. Even has time to help lift his bike onto the stand after a grueling first leg. Disappears into his tent. Cleaning time for Jeff Leeski's Honda. Not the mud of France, so this is the dust of Italy. The 24-year-old Australian in a reflective mood, but a great ride by him into 2nd place. An equally good ride by Kurt Nickel, number 2 on the Kawasaki, into 3rd spot. And here's Keith Thorpe, Dave Thorpe's father, and look, well, road races at a motocross. Would you believe it? Eddie Lawson, Kevin Swans and Michael Doohan watching the action. And I think they're very impressed indeed by the skill and the stamina of their motocross counterparts. So preparations for the 2nd leg. Dave Thorpe getting his face mask firmly tightened. A lot of stones, a lot of dust on this circuit. Kurt Nickel, first to the gate, number 2 on the Kawasaki, 3rd in that first leg. The riders now preparing for the 2nd leg here at Fermo. The 2nd leg of the Italian 500 Motocross Grand Prix, and Eric Gabor's standing on the footrest, not ready for the start just yet. Number 2 Nickel, number 6 Kurt Lundqvist, number 19 Joe Martins. And it really is a flat-out blind into that first corner. Gabor's the winner of the first leg. In 2nd place, Leesk. In 3rd place, Nickel. And Dave Thorpe losing out his lead in the championship to his teammate Gabor's. Can he do anything about it in this 2nd leg? Leading the number way again is Leesk. A tremendous start by the Australian. In 2nd place this time, Dietmar Lacher from West Germany on the Honda. Through the dust come the pack. Everybody's safely through at the moment. But Leesk has done it again. He really is a demon starter out of the gate. So Leesk leading, Lacher in 2nd place. Looks like Thorpe in 3rd spot. Difficult to pick the riders out in the dust at the moment. So the end of the first lap. Certainly Leesk leading. 24-year-old Australian. Turned the motocross world upside down. In 2nd place, Lacher. In 3rd place, Gabor's. Gabor's trying to get into second place. He's done it. Gabor's now up into second spot. Number 11, Dietmar Lacher, hanging on as hard as he can. Local hero number 14, Franco Rossi. The sun making life difficult for the riders. It's getting hotter, it's getting dustier, and really stamina is going to be a very important part of this second leg. Lees still leading. Gabor's challenging hard now in second place. This is 18, Jeff Lees. Gabor's the world champion in second place. In third place, Lacher. In fourth place now, Dave Thorpe. Only a win will put him back into the championship lead. Thorpe knows this. Disappointed with that crash in the first leg, although he fought his way back to fifth place. Lees and Gabor's. Lacher. Gabor's now in the lead. So Gabor's in front of Lees. Knowing that Thorpe's closing all the time, Gabor's trying to pull away, trying to open up a gap on the Australian and the Englishman, both his teammates in the Honda outfit. So Gabor's leads the championship and this second leg. Chasing hard, number 9, Jackie Martins. Number 19, Joe Martins. Gabor's again. And it's Thorpe now up into second place. Number 3, Thorpe, chasing his great rival, Eric Gabor's. Honda teammates they might be, but bitter rivals out on the track. Number 14, Rossi, on the KTM. Good result for him in that first leg. He finished 6th. Number 16, Dietmar Lacher, out of the race. Made a very good start. And Thorpe now leads. So if the positions stay the same, Thorpe and Gabor's will share the lead in the championship. So an amazing result this may well be. Dave Thorpe leads now on the Honda. Gabor's in second place. If this stays the same, they will share the championship with 120 points apiece. This is the battle for third place between Lees, number 18, and number 8, Billy Leal. The Australian versus the American. The Australian leading the way up the hill. Leal's doing well on the Kawasaki. He was very unlucky in that first leg when he caught a stone in his goggles and crashed out of the proceedings. Back at the front, Thorpe leads. Nickel also pushing hard for fourth place now. Franco Rossi. Riders streaming their way through. But it's the battle at the front that have got this crowd enthralled. If Thorpe can hang on to first place and beat Gabor's into second spot, they will share the championship lead with 120 points apiece. And that's the gap. Number 3 Thorpe leads number 1 Gabor's. The two riders who have dominated 500 motocross for the last 3 years. Thorpe, champion in 85 and 86. Gabor's current world champion. And as we've said so many times before, the only man in the history of motocross to win all 3 categories, 125, 250 and 500. But he's playing second fiddle in this second leg to Dave Thorpe, number 3. But Gabor's never a man to give up without a great fight, as is Kurt Nickel, still chasing hard after that third place, still battling hard with Jeff Lees, as is Billy Leal. But if anything, with half distance approaching, it's Thorpe pulling out a bit of a lead over Gabor's. Still a long way to go. So there's Thorpe. Leif Pearson, number 17, going well in 6th place on the Honda. And Gabor's has closed the gap once again. So Gabor's not giving up with a fight. He wants to retain that championship lead. Thorpe, his constant shadow just behind him. His red shadow, Gabor's. And Rossi's out of the race to the groans of the crowd. Local hero Franco Rossi, who finished 6th in that first leg, out of the second leg on his KTM. Thorpe 3, Gabor's 1. Nothing between these two. They could ride all day long on equal machinery and be this close. 17, Pearson, still battling on. 8, Leals. trying to make up for that first leg disappointment. Oh, and another world champion out of the race. George Jobay, 1988 World 500cc champion, out. Problems with the rear end of his Honda. It looks like a puncture. So a rear wheel puncture for Jobay, out of the race. What a battle for third place though. Kurt Nickel number 2, number 18, Jeff Leask, and it's Leask still leading Nickel. It's hard work through the dust. Jackie Vimon, former 250cc champion, now going well in 7th place. As the race progresses, it makes harder work for the riders in these hot, dusty conditions around a track so fast as this. Vimond again. And a win then for Dave Thorpe. In 2nd place, Gabors. 3rd, Kurt Nickel, eventually getting past Jeff Lees. 5th, Leif Pearson. 6th, Dirk Gherkin. 6th, Jackie Vimond. 8th, Jackie Martens. And 9th, Billy Lyons. And the positions in the World Championship, really, it couldn't be closer, because Thorpe and Gabors share 120 points. Nickel in 3rd place on 91. Martins 4th on 83. 5th, Jeff Leask on 76. 6th, Gherkins on 70. 7th, Pearson on 55. 8th, Van der Ven on 54. 9th, Vimond on 52. And 10th, Latcher on 38. And there's the overall results. It's a win overall for Gabors. He pulled back those 6 points that Thorpe had over him in the championship. They now share the lead. So the strains of the national anthem boom out over the Italian countryside after Dave Thorpe wins this 2nd leg. Great performance by the British rider, and now confirmation of those World Championship points. Well, it couldn't be closer, could it? Thorpe and Gabors, the 2 Honda riders, share the lead with 120 points each. Nickel in 3rd place on the Kawasaki on 91. Well, after the sunshine and the hard racing at Fermo in Italy, we now go back to the sand and the 5th round at Ruskaranta in Finland. This really is a sand racer's paradise. And if you're talking about riding in the sand, you're talking about Dutchman Kies van der Ven. Brought up on these sort of tracks in his native Holland, he really is at home on this circuit on the outskirts of Helsinki Airport. This is Van der Ven. Number 4, riding the KTM. George Jobay going extremely well in 2nd place. Leask also at home in the sand. Number 18. Not such good news though for the 2 men sharing the lead in the World Championship. That's Dave Thorpe and Eric Gabors. Would you believe they collided at one stage? Thorpe went down, Gabors stayed on. Gabors fought his way back, but he fell off again. He got knocked down to 13th place, and Thorpe eventually finished 7th. This is the 2nd leg. This time it's Leask in the lead, number 18. If he can hang on to this position, this would be the first time he'd won a World Championship motocross event overall. Surely this is something we're going to see a great deal in future years. 24-year-old Jeff Leask leads the 2nd leg, leads the Finnish 500 motocross Grand Prix overall. Number 18, Leask. Gabors fighting his way back after a disaster now, 2nd in this 2nd leg. He only finished 13th in the 1st. George Jobay, good result for him in the 1st leg, finishing 2nd. He currently lies 3rd in this 2nd leg. But it's overall victory to 24-year-old Australian Leask and Jobay in 2nd place. And the World Championship positions now, Gabors on 140 and Thorpe on 138. Well, we now switch to the 250cc class and Zedapek in Czechoslovakia for the 5th round of their championship. This 1st leg is stopped after half a lap because not enough riders make it up the hill. As you can see, extremely steep, extremely dusty. But when the 2nd attempt to run this 1st leg got underway, it's Roland Diepold from West Germany on the Kawasaki who led. But chasing him hard, the current 125 world champion Frenchman Jean-Michel Bayle riding the Honda. tuned himself up beautifully during the winter riding in the American Supercross series. Well, that's Depot leading. But look out for Bale. He's fast, he's spectacular, and he wants to be world champion. Depot still leading on the Kawasaki. A massive crowd witnessing top 250cc motocross action. But this is Bale, number 77. The hill not causing quite as many problems as it did at the start of that first leg, but a very demanding circuit cut out of the forest. Bale again, 125cc world champion last year, third in the championship in '87. One of the real flamboyant characters in World Championship motocross. Frenchman, now keen to live in America. And at the moment showing a clean pair of heels to the rest of the field in this first leg of the 250cc Czechoslovakian Motocross Grand Prix. In second place is great rival, John van den Berg from Holland on the Yamaha. Checkered flag now being shown to Bale. Bale, in fact, goes on to win both legs, but still leading the championship is British rider Jeremy Watley on 67 points, despite being knocked out in the second race and taking no further part in the proceedings. But his result, fifth in the first leg, still gives Watley the lead in the championship. But chasing hard all the way now, Bale with a double in Czechoslovakia. We stay in Czechoslovakia for the 7th round of the 125cc championship from Dalasin. Conditions again not easy as we see this first bend tumble. But the 125cc championship is being dominated by American ace Trampas Parker riding the KTM. Parker may be American, but in fact he's lived in Italy for the last 3 years. He's got an Italian wife and he speaks the language fluently. And he certainly speaks the motocross language fluently at the moment. Pushing him hard in this first leg are his fellow countrymen Bob Moore and Mike Healy. So 3 Americans doing well behind the Iron Curtain. The 125cc class, of course, has been a breeding ground for world champions in bigger capacities. Eric Gabor's the perfect example. But some of the 500 riders that have tried to switch back to 125s have found it very difficult. George Jobay surely again a perfect example of how not to do it. But Trampas Parker, the American, now based in Italy, seemingly on his way to victory and surely to the World 125cc Championship. In second place in this first leg was Moore, and in third place was Healy. In the second leg, Alexandra Puzar, the nearest man to Parker in the World Championship, was second, and in third place, Moore once again. Czechoslovakians not looking too happy there about Parker running away with these 2 races. Another 40 points toward his World Championship campaign. After these 2 races, he's on 2.47 and Puzar down in second place in 2.03 and Healy on 1.47. So the checkered flag being shown to Trampas Parker, but it hasn't been so easy to pick the winners in the 250 and 500cc classes.